Alright, so here is a short introduction about measuring GDP. So GDP, gross domestic product. Remember the definition? It's the market value of all the final goods and services produced within a country within a given period of time. Now there are three main ways that we measure GDP. So on one side of it is the output approach. And the output approach is basically measuring the value of all the output we have in the economy. Kind of exactly what you might think. And then on the other side of that, there's the input approach. And the input approach is measuring all the income from the factors of production, the land, labor, the capital, things like that. And then the big one we talk about the most is the expenditure approach, which is where we get this equation C plus I plus G plus NX. Now the expenditure approach and the output approach, they're two sides of the same coin. The expenditure approach is just simply another way of measuring the output approach, but they're both kind of doing the same thing. Now all three of these ways, really what they're doing is they're measuring this circular flow. We're trying to figure out the gross domestic product that happens in this circular flow. The problem is you can't measure one side and the other side at the same time because then you're measuring the same thing twice. So we kind of pick one side at a time. So with the output approach, we're really measuring this side of the circle, where we're looking at the value of all the things that are produced. Where the input approach is looking at the other side of the circle, where we're looking at all the income that comes in from these things that are produced. And then there's the expenditure approach, where we're looking at aggregate demand and looking at the spending that's happening. Now, all three of these approaches, hopefully, if you've done it correctly, all equal each other. You can either measure one side of the circle, or you can measure the other side of the circle. And when they all come together, you should end up with the same numbers. So all three of these should tell you what GDP is in the economy. Okay, bye.